Hello dear students and welcome to EduTap. So guys, welcome back to another session of NABARD Grade A Phase 1 for the year 2021. And today we are going to be practicing some rearrangement and parajumbles. Guys, these always have been asked in the paper, and so they are quite important because there is this one question holds 5 marks in the actual paper, right? So before we begin, guys, I would like to inform you about the ICAR AO post for the notifications for which are out. And we have launched 2 master courses for tier 1 and tier 1 plus tier 2. So tier 1 is a silver package and tier 1 plus tier 2 is gold package for both the tiers. And we are offering a 15% discount and the code is early 15. Guys, if you are thinking of preparing and if you are preparing, I think this course would be really helpful for your preparation. Very well done, guys. So let's begin the session, guys. And just to keep things relevant to our session, I would like to explain you a few tips and tricks for rearrangement. And then we'll practice the rearrangements that were given in the paper of 2020. That is last year. Good evening, Lena. Guys, many students ask how to rearrange and how to solve that rearrangement question for 5 marks with accuracy. Guys, obviously the time is short as it is, and you have to cover a lot many questions. But if you have, let's say if you face a situation where, nothing else is working out, so you can try to solve this rearrangement and you can score 5 marks. Very easily. Guys, it's all about how to rearrange the sentences and form it into an organic whole, right? So there are some tips and tricks for finding the same. So first of all, you should begin with first reading, and in the first reading you should only try to focus on finding the first sentence, that is introductory sentence or the most independent sentence. And the trick to find it is this sentence would hold the main or introductory idea of all the sentences. That means usually it would not begin with a conjunction, or with the sentence would not have a pronoun, because conjunction is used to connect a sentence. So if it starts with a conjunction, that means it is already connected with another sentence, so that should not be the first sentence. We'll practice this. And pronoun, same. If a sentence has a pronoun, that means in another sentence the noun has been spoken of, so that cannot be the first sentence. So it's a very easy trick that we all can very easily follow. Now then there is a chain rule that we have discussed many a times, that after that we need to just form a chain, that whatever has been said in the first sentence, now we need to find the connecting sentence, the next sentence, and we'll try to solve that right now. So guys, don't forget to like the session, don't forget to share it, guys. It may be helpful for someone who's in really in the need. Good evening, DK, welcome to the session, buddy. And guys, then last sentence again obviously is the conclusion. These are not just random sentences. This is a complete paragraph which has been broken down into separate sentences, right? So obviously it would definitely have a conclusion which may hold a solution or a way forward, something like that. And it would probably have conjunctions in it because that's the last sentence. It is, and it usually has pronouns and conjunctions in it, right? So let's try to solve the rearrangement that was given in the previous year, guys, right? So this was the question in the paper of 2020, and let's try to solve it. So not 6, there are actually 8 sentences given, and we have to rearrange these sentences to form a logical paragraph, right? I'll help you to find the first sentence with the trick I just told you, the conjunction and the pronoun trick, and the rest now you will have to read it carefully and solve it for me and give me a complete solution. So let's try to use the trick that I just told you. Start with the first reading and eliminate sentences which have which have pronouns or conjunctions in them, right? So let's start with sentence number A. What was until then a sport predominantly of the hinterlands received wider recognition as television and newspaper began discovering it. Let's see. It has a pronoun. Sentence number B. The Amir Khan starrer Dangal, which narrates the story of Mahavir Singh Phogat and his daughters Geeta Phogat and Bhavita Kumari, was perhaps the icing on the cake. So, was perhaps again a conjunction used? Cannot be the first sentence. Sentence number C. Ever since Sushil Kumar won a bronze medal at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, wrestling has without doubt grown by leaps and bounds. That looks like a introductory sentence, guys. It has no conjunction, no pronoun in it, so whatsoever. Let's read sentence number D. Now it has, so it begins with a conjunction and a pronoun. It has reached a stage where Sakshi's Olympic bronze is expected to do to women's wrestling what Sushil's did to wrestling in general. Okay. Also, again, it begins with a conjunction, cannot be the first sentence. That Sakshi and the Fogat came from Haryana. Okay. That begins with a conjunction. That means it's the not the first sentence. Even to the uninitiated, the sports rich moral, philosophical, and mystical heritage with links to first to the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, through the likes of the Hanumana and Bhima, and then to the Mughals and the Maratha kings, who were huge patrons of the sport, has always appealed, even to the uninitiated. So he started giving an example. And sentence number H, a series of successes followed from Yogeshwar Dutt to Bogart sisters to Sakshi Malik. All right, guys. So yes, guys, what should be the first sentence? I think the what's the story after reading the sentences carefully as I went, that it's all about how important sport has become after winning a bronze in Beijing Olympics. After that, it has it has been followed by many successes. So I think first sentence should be G. All right, guys, let's try to solve this, and let's see what solution can we get from this, right? So give it your best shot, take your time and try to solve the whole passage, try to put it into a sentence. Right, guys, this is a scenario of exactly your paper. Let's say if you're sitting in a paper, right? You're solving a rearrangement. Let's see what approach would you take and how would you solve it. So take your time, no hurry, but try to get it right. Okay? Yes, guys, getting somewhere. No, guys, I don't think so that G is the first sentence. According to me, sentence number C is the first sentence. Okay, I'll give you this. Okay, this is one hint that I wanted to give you. So the introductory sentence that I feel is sentence number C. Give me the complete sequence, guys. Let's see if you can solve it. Yes, guys, quickly come up with your sequence. Yes, guys. Okay, DK says CADHEFBG. Okay. Ina says CAEEFGH. Neha says CHDGABFE. Whatever. Okay. Anyone else who's trying? Should I wait or shall we discuss the correct sequence, guys? See, it takes a lot of time to solve this, but that's the catch, guys. If you're able to solve it, then you get 5 marks. Very good. Guys, anyone else with the correct sequence? All right. So let's discuss the correct sequence, guys. First sentence is sentence number C. That's the opening statement. That ever since, that means जब से, right? जब से सुशील कुमार ने 2008 में बीजिंग ओलंपिक्स में मेडल जीता है, wrestling is the center of focus in this passage, right, guys? So he started like this. Ever since Sushil Kumar won a bronze medal at 2008 Beijing Olympics, without doubt, wrestling has without doubt grown by leaps and bounds. And second sentence should be sentence number H. A series of successes followed. After that, what happened? A series of successes followed from Yogeshwar Dutt to Fogart sisters to Sakshi Malik. So second sentence is sentence number H. Third sentence. Now it has reached a stage where Sakshi's Olympic bronze is expected to do to women's wrestling what Sushil's did to wrestling in general. So that's the connecting chain here. That's the connecting link, guys. Got it? Then next sentence is even to the uninitiated. वही जिसने ज़्यादा अभी तक स्पोर्ट्स खेला भी नहीं है. The sport he means he is referring to wrestling now. Even to the uninitiated, the sport's rich moral, philosophical, and mystical heritage, with links first to Ramayana and the Mahabharata, through the likes of Hanuman and Bhima, and then to the Mughals and Maratha kings who were huge patrons of the sport, has always appealed. That should be sentence number 4. Right after that, then he comes to present now. What was until then a sport predominantly of the hinterlands received wider recognition as television and newspapers began discovering it. Correct. Then Amir Khan starred Dangal, which narrates the story of Mahavir Singh Fogart and his daughters, Geeta Fogart and Babita Kumari, was perhaps the icing on the cake that Sakshi and the Fogarts came from Haryana, a state infamous for its skewed gender ratio, even boosted the narrative of the sport, now being a tool for breaking gender stereotypes. And last should be sentence number E. Also, independent India's first individual Olympic medal winner was a wrestler, Kashaba Dada Sahib Jadhav, who bagged a bronze in 1952 Helsinki Games. This aided wrestling in securing a prominent place both in the minds of the country's citizens as well as in its yet to thrive sporting ecosystem. So that is how he has connected the past with the present in a whole scenario. So the correct sequence should be, guys, first sentence is C, second sentence is H, Third sentence is D. Fourth sentence is G. Fifth sentence is A. Sixth sentence is B. Seventh is F. And last sentence, sentence number 8 is E. Yes, guys. So correct sequence is CHD, GABF, E. Yes, guys. Has anyone got this answer? CADHE. No, DK थोड़ा गलत हो गया. Lina, CAE. No, Lina. Neha. PhD. GAB. Neha, very good. CAE. Lina, no, गलत हो गया. देखता CAG. No, guys. Very good, Neha. Good job. So, guys, I always tell you to find the connecting link. Always find the chain. Ever since Sushil Kumar won the bronze medal at 2008 Beijing Olympics, wrestling. Now he started talking about wrestling has without doubt grown by leaps and bounds. Now, what happened after that? This was a story about success. A series of success followed from Yogeshwar Dutt to Fogart sisters to Sakshi Malik. That is the continuation of the story. Then now he's coming to present. Now it has reached a stage where Sakshi's now. He was talking about Sakshi Malik in the last. Then connecting link. Now it has reached a stage where Sakshi's Olympic bronze is expected to do to women's wrestling. Now he comes to the specific point of women's wrestling. What Sushil's did to wrestling in general. So even into the then he comes to the backdrop of the story, right? Even to the uninitiated, the sport here he is referring to the to wrestling. The sport's rich moral philosophical value relates to the past and Mughal kings, and they've always appealed. Now, what was until then a sport of hinterlands received a wider recognition as television newspapers began discovering it. Right. Then Amir Khan's star proved to be a icing on the cake. Then that Sakshi and Fogart has to come from Haryana, a state with skewed gender ratio, and so it has also become a tool for breaking gender stereotypes. So also independent India's first individual Olympic medal was wrestler who bagged a bronze in this games, and this aided the wrestling in securing a prominent place both in the minds of country citizens as well as in its yet to thrive sporting. Yet to thrive, that means it has a long way to go. So that's what he's talking about, the upcoming, the way forward. Very good, guys. You want to try more, or is it okay? Yes, guys. Quickly. Now, I would also like to share another type of question that was given in the previous year. So, would you like to try that? All right, guys. So, moving on to the next question, guys. Okay, now this is not a simple rearrangement, so don't rush into it. Read the directions carefully, guys. Now, 5 statements are given below, labeled A, B, C, D, E. Now, carefully read the directions, guys. Among these, 4 statements are in logical order. Guys, you have to understand this. Out of these 5 statements, 4 statements are in logical order and form a coherent paragraph or passage. So, the 4 statements are in logical order, which form a coherent passage. Now, from the given options, choose the option that does not fit into the theme of the passage. Guys, you have to choose that one option which is odd one out. Got it? Guys, now you have to choose the option that does not fit into the theme of the passage. So you have to choose the sentence which is not, not a part of this series, right? The directions are clear to everyone. Now let's read the sentences and let's try to figure out which is the odd one out. So sentence number 1, the egregious practice that many Muslim men employ to divorce their wives instantaneously and without their consent, merely by uttering the word talaq thrice, was rendered legally invalid by the Shamim Ara versus State of UP judgment of 2002 and subsequent orders from various high courts. Now, this practice has been either explicitly de-recognized in Muslim majority countries such as Indonesia, Iran, and Tunisia, or implicitly in countries such as Pakistan, which provides for a mandatory arbitration procedure after the pronouncement of talaq. Shaira Bano, one such victim of this arbitrary custom, not to speak of years of domestic violence, has filed a public interest litigation (PIL) in the Supreme Court seeking a ban on the practice. But this has not stopped the practice. Many Muslim women are unaware of the judgments or have had to accept such pronouncements owing to pressure from conservative sections. The conservative All India Muslim Personal Law Board that seeks to wield influence on questions of Muslim personal law has predictably found it an occasion to air its regressive views on the issue. All right, guys. So these are the given 5 statements. You have to find which of these sentences is not part of the coherent passage that is formed by the rest 4 sentences. This is for 1 mark. Yes, Keshav. Yes, guys. Are you able to figure out the odd one out? Let's see and let me know your answer. Ekta says C, DK says E, Neha E, News E, Ishta says E. What about the others, guys? आंसर करो यार, गलत हो जाएगा ज़्यादा ज़्यादा और ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा. Lena says D. Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Anyone else who's ready to answer for this question? All right, guys. So nobody else wants to answer. So I'll give you the solution. No, guys. This is C. None of you have answered the question correctly. The correct option is option number B. See, guys, the only irrelevant part, although it was very close, right? But you have to understand all the 4 sentences were about India. See, the egregious practice that Muslim men employ to divorce their wives instantaneously. This was the opening statement. Merely by uttering the word talaq thrice was rendered legally invalid by Shamim Ara versus State of UP. Judgment of 2002. But second sentence, it talks about Muslim majority countries such as Indonesia, Iraq, Tunisia, or implicitly in countries like Pakistan, which is not talking about India, right? Then sentence number C, it was about Shaira Bano, right? Supreme Court, that is again India. But this has not stopped the practice of many Muslim women are unaware of judgments and have to accept such pronouncement owing to pressure from conservative sections. And then the conservative section, All India Muslim Personal Law. So this was also about India. So the odd sentence here was option number B. Now after A, try to read sentence number C, guys. The egregious practice that many Muslim women employ to divorce their wives instantaneously and without their consent, merely by uttering the word talaq thrice, was rendered legally invalid by Shamim Ara versus the State of UP judgment of 2002 and subsequent orders from various high courts. Shaira Bano, one such victim of this arbitrary custom. See, again, then it is connected with another case, not to speak of years of domestic violence, has filed a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court seeking a ban on this practice. But this has not stopped the practice. Many Muslim women are unaware of the judgments or have had to accept such pronouncements owing to pressure from conservative sections. And the conservative All India Muslim Personal Law Board that seeks to wield influence on the questions of Muslim personal law has predictably found it an occasion to air its regressive views on the issue. But sentence number E is also sentence number D talks about conservative sections, and then this is a news, right? About the triple talaq. Now it is connected, Lena. In sentence number D, he has sent conservative section, and then he started the conservative All India Muslim Personal Law has found an occasion of presenting its regressive views on this issue. Got it, guys? So you have to find the link. That is what is required, guys. You need to practice that. What was the link in the rest of the 4 sentences? Got it, guys? This practice, although it was talking about talaq, but it was not specifically talking about India. It was about explicitly derecognized in those countries and implicitly followed in Pakistan, but it was not about India. That was the odd one out, guys. You want to practice one more, or should I give you a homework, guys? Yes, guys. Quickly, do you want to practice one more, or should I give it as a homework? All right, guys. Decided. No, Neha. Let's take it as a homework. Okay. I want you to practice it. And guys, do like the session. Do share it because it would be really helpful. Okay. Let me show it to you. So this is again the same question. You have to find the odd one out. So you can't do it now. You have to do it in the comment section of the video. Okay. And guys, before we leave, I would like to inform you about the ICAR AO notifications which are recently out for 2021, and we have launched master courses for this post. One is tier 1 package, that is silver, and one is tier 1 plus tier 2, that is gold package. And the coupon code for an early 50% discount is early 15. Got it? So guys, how was the session? Yes, guys. You like it or not? Was it useful or not for your preparation? And if you liked the session, if you enjoyed it, if you sailed through, then do press the like button. It's free, guys. It's free of cost. So just press the like button. Do share it with anyone who's preparing for this exam. And guys, if you have any queries or if you have any doubts regarding our courses or regarding anything else, please feel free to contact us here 81462072241, or you can drop us an email at this address hello@edutap.co.in. Neha, if you're talking about actual paper, it should be 3 to 4 minutes. You really want to ask me, sir, in the actual scenario of the paper, how much time should be devoted to rearrangement? The one we solved today, that should be given in the first one, that should be given 3 to 4 minutes. The one we solved later on, that should be given to maximum 2 minutes. Because you should have good reading speed, guys. That's what I've always been reminding you, to have a good reading habit, right? It would go a very long way, guys, in your preparation, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining in. I'm blessed to have such regular students with me, and I'm very sure and I'm very confident that you guys are going to come out with flying colors, right? So I wish you all the very best for your endeavors in life, and stay safe, guys, stay healthy, and keep on working hard, guys. And we'll always be there with you throughout your journey and beyond that as well. So happy learning to you.